There's a song called Things Have Changed by Bob Dylan. And in this song, the lyrics go along the lines of, the whole truth adds up to one big lie. And you know, he's kind of a genius for that because it's pretty much true. And I first realized that everything was a lie when I was about 22 years old. But I didn't know just how much of it was really, like, I knew all of it was a lie, but I didn't know that like all of it was a lie. And even within the last few months, I'm still realizing and still learning about just how much of it, of this whole charade of life, is actually a lie. And there's so many people that are in the world that are living their life day to day, going through the motions, and they are living as if they're gonna live forever from the looks of it. And I never really understood it. But when I was 22 and I had my spiritual awakening, which was really just a realization of a coming home, I guess, to my own heart. And it was strange because I didn't necessarily understand it at the time, and it took me several years to really fully integrate everything that I was unlearning to learn. Like, I was learning how to unlearn things. That's really what it came down to. And so when I was learning how to unlearn things, I also learned just how much of my whole existence I was living like a sheep, and I was not living like the lion that I actually wanted and knew I could be. You see, we're told lies about relationships, we're told lies about careers, we're told lies about universities, we're told lies about how to live in your way of life in this day and age. We're told lies constantly, and it's not even everybody's fault all the time that we're telling each other lies, because they believe the lies. They believe in the fake, false message that they're giving so much that they're willing to live the lie themselves to prove to everybody else that it's actually not the lie that it really is. You know, we have the government telling us, you know, oh, well, as long as we can change the laws, it's not criminal, basically, right? You're taxed for what you keep, you're taxed for what you earn, you're taxed for what you spend. Have you ever really added up how much you pay in taxes? Especially as a business owner. If anybody's a business owner out here, you are well aware that being a self-employed individual, they take up to 40% sometimes of your taxes, depending on what's going on or how much you make in taxes. So like in some cases, it's even more so of what they're taking in tax than if you were to work at a regular 9-to-5 job or anything like that. How insane is it that we reward people that are doing the bare minimum? And I'm not necessarily saying, like, if you have an average job, and that's not a bad thing, right? And if you have an average job, I have a lot of respect for anybody that works or does anything that they do for a living. I don't really care how you make your money, okay? I don't really care how you do that. What I care about is, are you doing it fairly, and are you doing it with honor, and are you doing it with integrity? And are you trying to do your craft well? Okay, so for example, my craft here, what I'm trying to do with these videos and with Regal Change is help people grow closer to God, help people build their muscles, and create everlasting healthy relationships. I mean, it's the basics of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And I'd like to think that I'm setting an example by trying to do that, trying to do those things. Because you really can't be a leader without leading by example. And that's what the issue is with a lot of these truth tellers, which are really the liars, the ones that we look for in times of distress or in times of understanding. Whoever looks for politicians to lead you to the truth has no clue what a politician is really about. Like, politicians are the most disgusting things on the planet. I genuinely believe that. Close to business people and etc. and salespeople, because the only thing worse than those people are thieves. And sometimes even the politicians and the business people are thieves. You just have to sign a contract first, right? And what's so stupid is when you sign the contract, sometimes you don't really know what you're signing up for. And when you have the capacity to change the laws of a nation, like, there's a social contract as well with the government, but there's also a physical contract. Every time you make money, every time you live a life that is in accordance to the law, you're actually ending up paying more than what you're being paid for. And to prove that, add up all of the taxes that you're spending and then really see if you can get an answer on where that is going. Where is it going? If you can tell me where the taxes that you're paying for go, let us know. Like, we're open here in America. Like, we're open to hear about it. Edward Snowden has talked about in his book Permanent Record. He had a book that outlined a lot of the stuff that he found out about and he went through when he was working in the CIA, right? One of those things is the black budget. Okay? The black budget, nobody really knows how much is going into that, but it is being paid for at the expense of the taxpayer. Nobody really knows who it's going to. And again, nobody nobody knows these things. We can have estimates, we can have whatever, but we don't really know. And meanwhile, you see people out and about, enjoying their life, riding their bikes and walking their dogs, and it baffles me. It baffles me that these people are just so in the matrix and in the fantasy that they're being told. Because when I was 22 years old, I knew I wasn't necessarily the smartest person in the world, but I knew I wasn't the dumbest. And I still think that way. I know I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I definitely don't think that I'm the most least capable, okay? I don't think I'm the least competent either. I know what I'm about and I know what I'm capable of. And sometimes people are scared of that. And sometimes people might be scared of that for you as well. Like, if you know who you are, you know what you're about, all of a sudden, people don't know how to handle that. People don't know what to do. They don't really know what it's like to be in the presence of that lion, that godlike savage. Or, if you're a woman watching this, that warm, inviting, feminine, empathetic woman. They don't know what it's like, because it's so rare to actually be a genuine human being nowadays. Genuine human interactions don't really exist much anymore. And even the kind that do, it's like you're always making sure, like, okay, is this person who they say they are? Are they doing what they say they're going to do? Because a lot of you guys have been betrayed. A lot of you have been manipulated. A lot of you have been treated like a doormat. And not always because you felt like it was the right thing to do, but because you didn't know what else to do. Nobody told you that you could stand up for yourself. Nobody told you that you could be empowered. You can self-empower yourself. Nobody told you that you don't have to go with the status quo. Nobody told you you could pivot in your life if you really wanted to. Nobody told you that you don't have to have a career for the rest of your life. Nobody told you you have to live in this area or whatever area you're in. Nobody told you had to do this. We were instructed to do so. We were educated to do so. We were given instructions for life that put us further into spiritual debt and that put us further away from our true selves and further away from God altogether. And I am livid about it. I don't understand how people can't get upset about it. And you need to use this anger to transmute positive energy. Anger can be a very powerful tool, but a very terrible master. So what I encourage you to do if you are actually angry about this kind of stuff as much as I am, and I've seen videos where there have been people that are angry enough for everybody. They're screaming into their TikTok video. It's like, whew, all right, man, I get it. But screaming and doing that kind of stuff, it's not actually going to be the way to move forward. It's okay to get upset, but it's also okay to do something about it. And the best way to do anything about it, in my opinion, is to get the skills necessary to live the life that you want to live. And don't participate in the worldliness as much as you are told that you have to. You don't have to do that. You don't have to. There are other ways, there are other avenues. You just might not know about it, and that's okay. But you don't need to do what everybody else is doing. It's okay to think outside the box a little bit. It's okay to think to yourself, what are some other ways that I can get that bread, right? Man, it is hotter out here than I thought it was going to be. It's like almost mid-September. It's like 90 degrees. Whew. At least here in Utah. Here in Utah, that's warm. I don't know where you guys are, but in Utah, that's warm. But I like that the sun's out. It's nice to see the sun out, and it is a beautiful day, but it's also a beautiful day to fight. I'm a fighter, and I don't give up. And I can't tell you how many times I've tried to do things that didn't work out, but I've always been willing to pivot. If family, for example, we've been lied to about family, okay? We've been lied to about friends. We've been lied to about relationships, the whole shebang. Women are not as mysterious as they need to be to men. Like, women are, I need to rephrase that. Women are not as mysterious to men as they think they are. Okay? Women are not actually that mysterious. Once you understand women, you understand how life in general works. Basically, life is a paradox, and so are women. They are. And it's okay. We're not discounting them. We're not telling them that they're less than or anything like that. It's just the way that it is. But when you really understand women, you, I think, understand life in a lot of ways. Because there's really no way to understand life without understanding women. And women really are, in some ways, the root cause of everything that is suffering. And I'm not saying that it's women's fault. I'm just saying that, like, look at the story of Adam and Eve, right? Without woman, though, Adam wouldn't have had meaning and real value and tradition and life to his life the way that God intended. So Eve brought that life and inspiration in many ways, but she also brought temptation, and she also brought suffering. And so I'm not saying it's woman's fault. I'm not saying it's man's fault. This is all a collective problem at this point. And we all need to start, like, men need to start leading better in their relationships and need to be able to walk away from their relationships if they're not serving them. And women women just need to stop opening their legs. That's really pretty much it. Like, it's pretty simple. Stop opening your legs for everything that has interest in you, and stop trying to get attention everywhere. Like, just sit there, be cute, make me some tea, make me some food, and we'll be all right. Like, I'll take care of the rest. You don't need to work. You don't need to work 80 hours a week in order for me to be attracted to you, woman. That's another lie. It's another lie. Women think that their attractiveness is based off of how men are attractive. It's absolutely not. And that's just another lie. But I want to end on a positive note. And the positive note is that there's so much more to life than you could possibly imagine. And having a vision and treating it as if it were the present moment is going to be the tool for you to manifest whatever you want in your life. And when I say manifest, I don't mean like wish it into existence. Okay, I don't mean like, ooh, manifest, woo. That's not what I mean. What I mean to say is that you've got to take certain actions to get there, and God will reward you for your effort. God doesn't punish you if you're bold and if you're courageous and you're righteous. And with that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful. And until next time, peace be with you.